3 times the size of Texas and the largest province in Canada, Quebec is a big place. It's also blessed with 3% of the world's freshwater, more than 500,000 lakes, and has the enormous St. Lawrence River flowing through its interior, which empties the Great Lakes into the Atlantic Ocean. On the southeastern edge of the St. Lawrence, where the river meets the sea, you'll find the regions of Gaspésie and Bas-Saint-Laurent. Rich in history and marine life, Bas-Saint-Laurent is one of the most beautiful but overlooked destinations in Quebec, while the picturesque small villages and dramatic coastlines of Gaspésie make it clear why it's one of Canada's premier tourist destinations. Breathtaking coastlines, crystal clear rivers, and pristine wilderness lakes. This week on Facing Waves, we're exploring the regions of Gaspésie and Bas-Saint-Laurent.
It's a new day, our time to champion. Act like you know it's the anthem. It's a new day, our time to champion. Act like you know it's the anthem. Get ready for the light show. Show, show. Thunder's coming, yep, yep. Get ready for the light show. Show, show. Thunder's coming, yep, yep. Get ready, 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 ready.
The Gaspésie region is the cradle of Canada, where the first European explorers landed on Canadian shores more than 300 years ago. Located in east-central Quebec, the massive peninsula is surrounded by the waters of the Gulf of St. Lawrence and the St. Lawrence River. My trip begins in the charming village of Percé. Percé bustles with summer activity. The village features boutique shops, ice cream parlors, restaurants, and pubs, including a wicked microbrewery, and a newly installed boardwalk, which is particularly nice for those that just can't leave Mitzi back at home. Although I'm excited to hit the water and explore the coast by kayak, one of my favorite things to do in a new place is get a bird's eye view of the area so that I have a better understanding of what I'm seeing from water level. And so I've met up with Renaud Cameron from the Percé Geopark, which recently received the prestigious designation as the first UNESCO Global Geopark in Quebec. Before long, we approach our ultimate destination, one that isn't for the faint of heart. A vertigo-inducing glass platform that's suspended more than 200 meters above the ground.
Oh, cool.
That's kind of scary.
Really? You scared?
No.
But I'll tell you what, those brave enough to conquer their fear of heights are richly rewarded with a dramatic view of the village of Percé and, of course, the icon of the region, Percé Rock. Wow, what a view.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. At the Geopark, it's a community project. It started first in 2012. And here on the suspended glass platform, it was finished building in 2017, last year. Cool. And in 2018, this year in April, we had the Global Geopark UNESCO label. So yeah, it's pretty nice.
What's so cool for me is how many different looks you can get at this area. You know, we're getting this incredible bird's eye view, but the village itself gives an incredible view of the rock and the surrounding countryside. But apparently, one of the best views of the rock is by kayak.
Yes, it was my first job in Percé, sea kayaking guide, so you'll see it's pretty nice.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to getting out there.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see this monumental rock up close. So I quickly assemble my track kayak and meet up with Jeffrey Bond of A Volo Plein Air, who knows the waters around Percé as well as anyone.
Hi, my name is Bond, Jeffrey Bond, and I'm a sea kayak instructor. I'm a sea kayaking guide and also a whitewater and a lake water canoe instructor.
Okay, so what is our plan for this afternoon?
So our plan is going to the nicest place in the world.
I like the sounds of that.
It's Percé Rock. We have really lots of wildlife around. and the scenery is really beautiful. So it's a big rock with big cliffs, 100 meters high.
Wow.
And 400 meters long with a big hole in the middle. It's really a neat rock because a lot of history and the formation is always moving, rocks are falling, so...
And a lot of birds.
Lots and lots of birds.
Paddling Percé Rock is a special experience that I would highly recommend to anyone who plans on visiting Gaspésie. Not only is it a fun adventure that provides an unrivaled look at one of the coolest natural phenomena you'll ever see, but it really solidifies the importance of Canada's national parks, not only because they protect the natural beauty of these places, but also because they provide a safe home for the plants and animals that reside here. When one is confronted by such an unbelievably imposing geological feature, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that Percé Rock is also a refuge for a gannet colony and hosts more than 120,000 of these birds from April to October each year, making it one of the most important gannet habitats in the world. I have the best job in the world. I get to paddle in places like this. Facing Waves is brought to you by Québec Original. Facing Waves is brought to you by NRS, empowering adventures on the water since 1972. Knowing that I've only touched the surface of what there is to see and experience around Percé, it's hard to leave so soon. But I'm excited to move further down the coast and meet up with Camille from Cime Aventure, who has offered to show me down the pristine Bonaventure River. Cool. So the Bonaventure River. Tell me a bit about the section.
So today we're gonna do the first portion of what we call the famous tour, to be able to see beautiful rapids, nothing too big, just really fun, and mostly also flat water. So it's gonna be just a mix of the two, just fun enough for our paddleboard.
It looks pretty much as clear and clean as water gets, so I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, I'm looking forward too.
Shall we hit it?
Yeah.
All right. This is definitely Cime Adventure's primary
Activities.
activity.
Definitely. So basically, Cime Adventure is a resort. Our primary activity is the river, river for a day. We have the famous tour, which we're doing today. And we have also a shorter run, which is called the family trip. On top of that, Cime Adventure also has shelter. We have little camp chalet in the tree. Oh, are you okay? And we have teepees, we have camping, campsites, we have yurt. So yeah, and also we have snorkeling, we have paddleboard, we have sup yoga, yoga on a paddleboard.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think the coolest thing about stand-up paddling is the high vantage point you
Yeah.
get. And it's so different from kayaking and canoeing, being able to look down on things.
Yeah, the gravity center is much higher. I mean, it's totally different. You see the river, you have a better view of the river. It's amazing. We're very fortunate, especially with this beautiful river.
Yeah,
you know?
this is something else. I mean, it is crystal clear water.
Yeah, it gets green, blue, turquoise, so it's just fabulous. You just, as soon as you step on me, I step on my paddleboard and I'm just like, oh, I'm completely, relaxed. It feels good. Although I love the ocean, there's something about paddling downriver that has always captured my imagination. For one thing, even though countless people might have passed this way before you, every bend in the river feels like a new discovery. You just never know what you'll find on the other side. What do we got up here? So it's called the Cheval Blanc. So it's basically rapid level 2, nothing too intense, just fun. It's basically waves. There's no rocks or anything to hit. And if you fall in the water, there's no big deal. It's just fun. The water is amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, after you.
Oh, right. I'll go first.
As a lifelong whitewater paddler, I've challenged my skills and nerve in countless Class 5 rapids. But one of the things that I really appreciate about the Bonaventure River is that it features gorgeous and friendly Class 1 and Class 2 rapids that most beginner paddlers can enjoy. I can say this with complete sincerity because if my 6'3" butt can weeble wobble its way down the rapids on a stand-up paddleboard, then anyone can get down by a canoe or kayak.
Well, that was far from graceful. Felt like a newborn giraffe taking its first steps.
The Bonaventure was definitely a highlight of the Gaspésie experience for me. And when you consider we only paddled a mere 4-mile length of the river, that's saying a lot. For another 60 miles, this river snakes smoothly over its pebbled bed with a watery grace that is nothing short of magical. The glassy clarity of the water makes your imagination run wild about the other sights, sounds, and wonders one might experience along the Bonaventure's entire length. I look forward to returning here one day and exploring this wonderful river from end to end. Facing Waves is brought to you by Aquabound, highest in performance, lowest in weight, engineered to inspire. Facing Waves is brought to you by Yakima. Take it easy. On the southern shore of the St. Lawrence River, where its fresh water meets the salt water of the Atlantic, you'll find the Bas-Saint-Laurent region of Quebec. It's a place that many people drive right through on their way to Gaspésie without even knowing what they're missing. What they're missing is a gorgeous landscape with beautiful coastal and rural villages, a stunning coastline, and spectacular wilderness. In other words, it's an outdoor adventure traveler's dream. My first stop is probably the most obvious stop for anyone that knows the area, Bic National Park. At only 13 square miles in size, Bic is one of the smaller national parks you'll find, but what it lacks in size, it definitely makes up for with its visual impact. Although hiking is the most popular way to explore the area, sea kayaking is recognized as the best way to see the place. And so I'm meeting up with Bernard Dugas of Aventure Archipel, who has been kayaking and guiding in these waters for as long as anyone.
So, Bernard, tell me a bit about where we're going paddling today.
Yeah, today we're starting with the first island just in front of us. It's called L'Île Brûlée. Yeah, a smoky island.
Ah, okay.
Yes. Fire occurred many years ago. The blue herons make their nest at the top of the trees with about 20-25 great blue herons on the...
Really?
Yeah.
Well, let's hit it.
Yeah, go. Let's go. Okay. We are at the beginning of the national park. Yes. We're on the boundary of the park here.
Right here?
Yeah, right there. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is the island
Yes.
known for the great blue herons.
Yes. It's called L'Île Brûlée, the smoky island. you
Smoky,
could say. Yes. And before the great blue heron weren't there at all. And since I would say 3 years now, they appeared, and now we can count about 25 great blue herons on the island.
Cool.
So
Incredible creatures, really.
Yeah.
And you were saying that a creature, a bird that size, is only 5 or 6 pounds.
exactly 5-6 pounds. Yeah.
Wild.
Yes.
So with Aventure Archipel,
Yes.
you take total beginners out here.
We can say that the beginning, the first beginning, was a small company, but we decided to improve and to add boats to really discover the park and kayak excursions. Yeah, and now we consider we are in a really a good spot to practice the sea kayaking. It's a quiet place, and yes.
It seems like a pretty great place to get your feet wet for a first kayaking experience. It's easy to see why Bic National Park is one of the top destinations for visitors to the region. The terrain is dramatic and varied, and even with the strong winds we're facing today, it's easy to find sheltered areas amongst the islands and cliffs.
You like that, eh?
Like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. This is good.
It's not really a job.
No. No, this doesn't suck. Although the scenery is reason enough to visit Bic, one of the park's major attractions is the large seal population that lives here. As the tide goes out, big rounded rocks reveal themselves and provide ideal lounge chairs for the curious animals. I definitely question the comfort factor, but maybe if I wrapped myself in a thick coat of blubber, those rocks would look more appealing. With the wind picking up, Bernard and I decide to head back to the launch. I hate to leave so soon because this is the type of coastline that can keep you captivated for days. But our adventure in Bas-Saint-Laurent has only begun. Only a couple of hours away is another national park, Lake Témiscouata National Park. Facing Waves is brought to you by NRS, empowering adventures on the water since 1972. Join our online paddling community on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Very different from the coastal nature of Bic National Park, Lake Témiscouata National Park is found inland of the St. Lawrence and stretches along one of the most beautiful and largest lakes in the region. Although the pristine wilderness landscape is spectacular on its own, what I'm really looking forward to learning more about is the rich cultural history of the area. For thousands of years, the Témiscouata waterway was a crossroads for trade between a variety of people, with the oldest evidence of human occupation dating back more than 9,000 years. To learn more about these people, I'm heading to Les Jardins de Mémoire, or the Garden of Memories, where archaeologist Marianne Mary-Lou Leclerc spends her days looking for clues.
For all the summer with the visitor in the park, the visitor came and they came dig with me this site. It's a native people site, but long time ago. It could be 2,000 years ago. I don't know now because I don't have the date, because I need carbon to date it, and I didn't find it yet.
But you have already found some real artifacts here.
Some real artifacts.
Yeah, it's not, that one looked, that's
It's
arrowhead.
Arrowhead, yeah.
Or a shark's tooth, one of the two.
Yeah.
I think these are tiny pieces that you're having to find.
Yes.
This is a needle in a haystack.
Yes, almost.
But you do every once in a while find something more substantial.
Exactly.
Watching Marianne Mary-Lou slowly and methodically work through the ground's different layers of organic material really drives home not just how incredibly patient she is, but the timeline she's working with. She's searching for clues left behind thousands of years ago, and their depth and location lets her tell an important story that has long since been forgotten. with some valuable insight into the history of the region. I'm looking forward to exploring the park itself. And so I'm meeting up with Audrey Morin to do some canoeing and hopefully see some of the bald eagles that the park is known for.
So my name is Audrey Morin, and my position here is I'm a natural environment technician, and my job is to get as much knowledge on the natural environment of the park as possible in order to protect it better. The first thing that makes Témiscouata Lake National Park pretty special is that it's really new. Like, not so many of our parks are recent. It's just 5 years old. And the special features of our park are really its lakes. Other special features are, of course, our bald eagle populations, because the habitat of the park here is perfect for the bald eagle, with high mature trees and those big fishy lakes.
So we can land the canoe right here, and then we're gonna walk around this point here. It's called the Point Atoma, and we should have a good observation spot over there on the other side of the point. The nest is in the bay, really high in a pine tree, so we should see it.
Cool.
Ready?
Let's do it.
The bald eagle is in the nest right now.
So this is the eagle's nest that you wanted to find and monitor.
Yeah, exactly.
And so monitoring it, what are you looking for?
We're looking at the reproductive success of the bald eagle. So at the beginning of May, we come a first time to see if the eagles have hatchlings, and we count the number. So this way, at this time of year, when we're close to their first flight, then we know the survival rate of those hatchlings that were born at the beginning of May.
Gotcha. Well, I know you could probably watch these eagles all day. I could too, but we have to get to Jardin des Mémoires. The wind is definitely picking up. At least we're paddling downwind to get there, but we should probably make a move.
Bye, bald eagles!
Once again, I'm blown away by what I've discovered on my trip through Bas-Saint-Laurent. My only regret is not having more time, because I know I've only scratched the surface of what the area has to offer.